James, how are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you.
Congratulations on the movie. I had so much fun watching this film. It's like huge amount of fun. It's such a huge film. It's absolutely massive. But I'm curious. I know obviously you did a lot of pre-production and everything that comes before it. What was day one on set for Aquaman?
Day one of photography literally was the opening shot inside the submarine where Michael Beach's character is shooting into the camera, and then the camera pans across the submarine to see all the sailors that he's been shooting at, and pans all the way around and all the way back 360 to reveal Black Manta walking into the room. It was a pretty complicated shot to start our day with. First shot of the entire production. But that we did. We tried to shoot as much of the film in chronological order. I like to do that as much as I can. And the submarine set was a good one to kind of get us into the movie.
Yeah, it was a fantastic scene, but I think the one that stood out for me was the Sicily action sequence.
Yes.
There was points in that where my jaw was literally hung open. I was so impressed by how technological the scene worked out to be, but it was seamless as well.
Right.
How long does something like that take to organize?
It took a long time. It took, between myself and my second unit director as well, and just plotting out how all the characters would kind of lay out and who was fighting whom. But ultimately, like in my filmmaking, I like to tie action set pieces together with the camera work, and so that kind of stuff took a little bit of kind of R&D.
Well, you've had a very interesting directorial career so far. Obviously, everyone loves your horror stuff. I loved your entry in the Fast and Furious movies. But what was it about this particular project where you said, yes, I can bring something new to this?
I've been wanting to do a world creation movie for a while. I've kind of aspired to secretly dream of wanting to make a movie where I get to design the whole world, right? The sort of design a fantastical world with the way they look, the way their creatures and ships and buildings that are different to what we're used to, and so. So this movie came along, and I realized it actually afforded me the ability to really do all those things that I've always wanted to do, and really getting back into action filmmaking again, and that's something I love, and this movie really helped tick a lot of boxes for me.
When it came to the Justice League, obviously came just before it, and there's been a lot of talk about what's happening with Batman and Superman after this.
Right.
That's a lot of it. Was your production affected at all by the background noise, knowing that stuff might be changing as you're moving forward?
Obviously I try to be mindful of what was happening, and obviously be respectful of where Jason's character kind of started from Justice League. But ultimately, the story I wanted to tell, the story that I did tell in the movie is a completely different, he goes on his own path that is kind of separate to all the other characters, and so in doing so, I actually, it kept me very independent from what everyone else was doing, and it allowed me to make the movie I wanted to make.
And what was it like reworking with Patrick Wilson? Because obviously he's great in the movies you worked with together before, but he's playing a not as nice man in this one.
Yeah, he's the antagonist in this movie. I'm reticent to refer to him as the villain.
Sure.
Sure, his character is somewhat villainous, but his reasoning to do the things he does in the film comes from a place of sort of, I think they're pretty legit, right? His character is someone who is sick and tired of all the crap that we do on the surface world, and it's time he wants to deal with it. Going into this project, I felt like. It's hard to make an Aquaman story or a movie and kind of not touch on the sort of the environmental aspect of it.
Absolutely.
And I think that's something that's very important. In the comic book, he's a big environmental warrior, and so that was something that was very important for myself.
And one word answer is fine. Absolutely. Patrick Wilson is back, but you're not directing Annabelle III. If you could, because I know you're still heavily involved with it. If you could,
I don't direct any of the spin-offs.
Oh, I know that. I absolutely know that. But you're still exec producing and stuff.
Yeah.
What can you give us anything at all about that? Because Ireland love their horror movies.
Annabelle 3 or Conjuring 3?
Annabelle 3. I think Patrick's in, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Yes,
yeah. That's the next big one, I think.
Yeah, that's the next one that we are filming right now, actually, as we're speaking. Yes, Patrick and Vera are in it. Yes. What can I talk about it?
Anything at all?
Well, I mean, other than what's kind of out there right now, which is the story kind of picks up where Conjuring 1, the opening sort of prologue sequence of Conjuring 1, where they go and they interview these young ladies and who has the Annabelle doll. And so our movie for Annabelle 3 picks up from that, literally, where Ed and Lorraine takes the doll and they bring it back home. And so, everyone knows, if anyone knows about the story of Ed and Lorraine Warren, with their sort of haunted museum that they have, the haunted artifact room, their most prized possession that they have in there is the Annabelle doll that they have locked away in a glass case. And so our story basically deals with what happens when they bring the doll back to their home.
Fantastic, James. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Your mother always knew you were special. She believed you'd be the one to unite our two worlds.
Atlantis has always had a king. Now I need something more.
But what could be greater than a king?
A hero.